So we do have several different branches within First Casca, but particularly Heartland Timber Homes is one of the unique ones. It's a manufacturing plant that we purchased from down south and relocated it here in Watson Lake. That gave us the opportunity to manufacture 8x8 luck cans, run them through a processing plant with a crew of 5 to 6 guys, and then we can move them to site and build you a log house.
I thought that it was a beautiful product that I think every Indigenous community needs, right? Number one, it lasts centuries, not the 3 years that an average Indigenous house, because of the substandard construction and what have you. So when you compare 3 years to centuries, yeah, it's a great product. Second, it's impervious to black mold, and black mold being the biggest issue in every Indigenous housing in this country. And so we as a management team at First Casca, put the application together for Liard First Nation, and lo and behold, we were successful in getting that. So that was, as soon as we acquired the Heartland Timber Homes and its assets, we started building the 15 homes.
Well, I think it started when I first got into office. One of the three, major, things that I ran on is health and wellness, home security, and employment. And the best way to tackle that is, I thought at the time, is to build our own homes. When we have employment, people can approach their wellness, health and wellness. And I always used to believe that it was just treatment, like formal treatment outside the community, that was the only way that people could heal. But I'm finding out that work, I bet 70 to 80% could start their healing journey through work. And I didn't think it would turn out the way it has, but we've built our own manufacturing plant. Our membership runs that plant. And then it comes to the putting up the homes. Our membership, they did the foundation. They've helped with putting up the buildings to where they are. Right now there's going to be siding soon, and then it's interior walls. And this is the greatest thing because it's a real accomplishment that we have these buildings. We have a plant, but the real accomplishment in this whole thing is our membership having the opportunity to work and start their own healing journeys, and that is the real accomplishment, is our membership changing their lifestyle.
The community has nothing. There's no industry, absolutely no industry, and it hasn't in 25 years, and now we got some kids working there and they're doing amazing. I mean, changing their lives, sobriety, full-time jobs, new pickups. Some of these boys, had a really rough upbringing, and it's completely changed their life around.
What were you doing before working here at Heartland Homes?
Selling drugs, doing drugs, drinking, carousing and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like homeless kind of, and like bouncing around, partying all over, broke all the time. Yeah, and then this place hired me, and then I kept partying and stuff, but I found a girl and sobered up.
What has you've had steady employment for 2.5 years?
Yeah.
What's that done for you?
Pretty much changed my life, kind of. I got not my own piece of property, but renting a nice piece of property. I got assets and stuff now, so, and a nice looking old lady, couple dogs. Yeah, life's pretty good right now. It's way better than it was a year ago. Usually here every day now, so good attendance, and my health is a lot better than it was. And
what do you want to see for Heartland Homes and for your community?
I'd like to see it succeed, for one, and carry on.
When you go out and see the homes actually built, what does that feel like?
It's pretty amazing actually. From start, we're not finished, but it's seeing the roofs and the insulation on them. It's kind of pretty cool actually, because how like we made them in here, right?
All of the raw materials, except for the appliances and cupboards, it's all produced in our manufacturing plant. At peak levels, we would have 5 people working in there. The whole plant was designed so that minimal skilled labor is needed. We train all aspects of it, from safety to the operation of all the equipment, purpose of everything, and then some mechanical.
Our members will be moving into these beautiful homes, and we'll start the next batch of homes. So I'm looking at a vision that we be the first Nation in the Yukon that doesn't have a housing crisis. And of our people are feeling more secure, our young people are feeling more secure and safe within the surroundings, they'll do better. They'll do better in school, they'll do better in planning and making decisions. And that's how we can start changing the direction of where we've been heading in the past to a new direction where we can be healthy and prosper and develop wealth.
The amazing work that our team is doing in Watson Lake, and the product that we are offering to the community, and hopefully to a good part of northern Canada in the upcoming years.
What have you noticed in the community from maybe 10 years, 5 years ago, 2 years ago to today, with there being more steady employment here now?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot more people driving nice stuff, and everybody's getting out hunting and stuff. It's good to see all that, having fun. But yeah, I don't know, when I was younger, it was only just pretty much hanging out with my uncle's friends and stuff like that. So they were all in and out of town working, and they had no choice but to leave their families and stuff like that. So to make the money. But now it's here in town. It's nice to go home every night. Like when you're going home to your family every night. You're getting to bond and hang out and do cool shit and run around and go trapping and stuff like that. And that's why I moved back up here, is to show my family all that and not work out of town all the time, because it gets old quick.
You're about to get your class 3?
Yeah, I want to get all my licenses. I don't know, feel something like the freedom when I first got my license to drive around. So I think the next one for me is the big rigs, and then eventually go for my private pilot's license.
You've been here for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
What's your primary function that you usually do here within the plant?
Well, I'm usually unloading and loading everything, and then it'll come in. Jimmy will cut it. I usually will plane it with somebody else, and then we'll flip it onto the timber max there, and then it chamfers the sides, and we kind of just pile it all up down at the end, and then once it's down there, we divide it to where we want it to go. If it needs plugs or whatever, if it needs to have some spline grooves or anything like that, then we'll do that.
What's it been like for the camaraderie, the bonding, having a place to...
Oh, it's a hoot. It really is. People open up and you don't even think that's who they are until you get hanging out with them, and then you spend more time with them than your family sometimes. So anytime I break down, I can call them and they'll show up. So it's nice when you got that kind of security behind you. When we first got the foundation up, it was just flat ground for a while until we could start building these houses, because we had to put the plant together. And once they started putting the walls up, it went up quick. So it looked pretty awesome. And then they got the roofs on it, and it was nice to see. And then I got to go down there a couple of times and learn and see what they were doing and how to put it up and all that. So I didn't really have any tickets till I got here, and I got 4 of them. So
Part of the mandate of First Casca is the local fellas to figure out where their little niche is, what they're happy with. Some are mechanically inclined, some love working with the wood, so then we can send them to school to get their Red Seal carpenter's ticket, electrical, plumbing.
Well, I got my fall arrest, my first aid. He's got a bunch of them in the book. I just keep signing myself up for it. And now I'm doing the class 3 through them, and I go tomorrow for my test. So I want to try to go do practicing, and then they got class 1 coming up and heavy equipment. So I'm going to take both those.
What's the crew like? What's it like working with them?
It's real good. Good guys, laugh arounds, good times, good memories and stuff like that, yeah. Feels pretty good. Feel happy with myself, proud. It's pretty good, not too bad. Yeah, everybody changed. Everybody changed.
How so?
Just everybody used to just party around and stuff. I used to party around all the time. Play games, stay up till like 6 in the morning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sleep all day. Yeah, it's getting, got used to waking up early. You wake up early on the weekend. Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, it's not too bad.
And happiness level, fulfillment?
Yeah, it's way better. Not so like depressed, I guess, or just like looking around for something to do and you have nothing to do in Watson, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, as you can say, you build 15 houses in a year, I guess, eh? Like, no one really can say that. Now, I'm pretty proud of myself to like build 15 houses. I never thought I'd imagine that in a day, yeah. It's not pretty good.
You know, we had 4 members build out 15 homes in a matter of 4 months in the manufacturing plant that they never knew how to operate, right? And they were trained in that short amount of time, and they delivered 15 beautiful kits out of the plant. And then from there, it led to the construction of the 15 homes.
With these houses, they're not classified as a log home. They're a timber frame home. Everything has been designed and patented to seal for weather and stuff like that. You'll notice right now how cool it is in here. In the winter time, it'll be just as warm in here. So with these timbers sealed inside, outside, there's no negative air inside this house. Well, the first Casca Heartland design, compared to a stick frame home, which is susceptible to black mold, off gases from synthetic materials, drywall, particle board, you won't have any of that in here because it's all natural materials. When we're talking about off gases and stuff of the houses, the 2 most susceptible groups to that are the elders and the young children, because you've got breathing effects and everything else there. So, and with this, you won't get it.
Something the community can do on their own now that a lot of them have experienced just doing the 15 houses we did so far. It was a little cold in the winter, but we still enjoyed the work. And, it's been a long time coming since I wanted to do something like this. And being my own boss and listen to the other boss, but I like to do my way, eh? And we give pointers too. We give pointers at what could be added to the house and what can be changed. And we did quite a bit little changes here and there, just to make it efficient and really warm through the winter and cool in the summer. I think these houses will be doing all that, and I'm pretty sure it will last a long time. So I can teach these younger ones that are doing it now. Some of them are pretty good at it now.
Now, they can measure these timbers. They can run all the equipment. They can grab a nail gun. They can grab saws. It more kind of fits in with their traditions because they're not a manufactured home. They're not a stick frame home. All the timbers and that can be resourced locally. You've seen the tongue and groove. That's all local wood.
Years ago, well, we did not have a plant, and seeing how the elephant members are executing and fabricating these home packages in the newly built manufacturing facility has been nothing less than amazing. Now, how we have different crews that have been trained in the last 2 years to fabricate the packages, but now to assemble the product, starting from scratch.
Best part of the whole system is the fellows we have working for us right now, they're on a ground floor level. So once they get to the point of retiring, their kids can work in the plant, their children can work in the construction end of it, and they'll be able to 50 years from now, oh, I built that house. I remember building that house.
Yeah, there's something I can leave behind when we move on, you know what I mean? There's something here I leave for my people, a nice home. If we work together and we understand what to harvest and how much we can harvest a year or something like that, then we're gonna have employment. You know, we're gonna feed our kids. We're gonna have bread on the table.
What's it like for you seeing those houses being constructed?
It's great actually, because there's a housing crisis in all the native communities in Canada, and this will probably fix that.
I always joke with my management team that we were so far ahead with the rest of the country. Now, not only are the Indigenous communities in this housing crisis that we've been in since, it seems since Canada has existed, but now Canada, the rest of the country, is in the same housing crisis now.
Population is getting big in each community, and there was no housing fix. There was no housing development, and there's a huge waiting list, and a lot of this stuff is prefabs and outside contractors, and so this utilizes, if need be, local sourced wood, or just it creates like good jobs for us. Like there's a lot of guys that turn their life completely around here.
What's it been like building these? Like, what's the work been like for you?
It was fun. A lot of work. Everybody's working. Friends and family barely drink as usual.
What's that?
I stopped drinking like a year ago too. So.
Who did?
Me.
You did?
Yeah. I used to be a heavy drinker.
Okay. And this work has helped to curb that?
Oh yeah.
Why is that?
Carpentry. I like carpentry and just what I like doing. It's good building something for the people and hopefully myself.
And the good thing is that it's local. I get to go home every night. I'm back at it in the mornings, but no, it's well worth it. And then, it's I've seen a lot of positive outcome from this place.
Work is people need to work, and the thing is, there's been for so many years that there has been no opportunity here for work, and that's when there's no work, people don't feel good about themselves. They slipped into lifestyle choices that aren't healthy. But when people have work, you could just look down the road here and you see the men working and building these beautiful homes, and we're going to go like, how did that happen? Well, you gave them an opportunity, you gave them hope. We need to expand on it. We have a subdivision on Francis Avenue, 42 lots. How about we enter into an agreement with the town, and the town and LFN, workers from the town and our people, we develop the whole subdivision and we do all 42 units in this style here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
It's hope more than anything else. There's hope there again. I mean, the manufacturing plant, it's building homes in our community, and they're nice homes. I mean, you heat them homes with a candle, efficient wise. To see a sawmill come in there and actually producing lumber to bring across our territory versus bringing wood in from BC and Alberta, and not on a big volume, like 80,000 cubes a year, sustainable industry, bringing finished products of lumber into Whitehorse for them at maybe a reduced rate as per shipping's like probably anywhere $10,000-$15,000 a load to get that lumber here. We're 5 hours away till the shipping cost is $3,000 versus $15,000.
Having a stable job, doing something like this close to home too. The income's been pretty good, I guess, and learning some more stuff, I guess, from the other part of the crew. There's going to be a lot of change. I see they talking about more projects after we're done here, starting right away, so I'm looking forward to that too.
People come to work happy and proud and appreciate of what they're achieving within themselves. That right there creates a healthy society. That is a win-win for me. To see guys at the end of the day saying, "Oh, it was a good day at work. You know, I really appreciate it," and they send me a few photos of what they did today. I'm like, yeah, see, that's right there. That's what counts.
Mainly, I run the chop saw.
Yeah.
But pretty much, we pretty much trade off do everything.
Cool. And did you have any background in like forestry or manufacturing before?
Not really, no.
No?
I worked in sawmills, but
The sawmills down here back in the 2000s?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a big thing here because I know that like everything kind of ground to a halt around 2004, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walk me through that because you've been down here. So like when you saw the logging days, probably like through the 90s up until the early 2000s, then things ground to a halt for basically 20 years.
Yeah.
This is kind of the restart of that.
Yeah.
Tell me what the community and what you saw in the people in the Liard First Nation and the citizens.
Well, basically, we watched the town die. Back in the 80s and early 90s, this place was a happening place. Not no more. You can tell the money's gone.
What's that done for people?
I can't see them being very happy about it. A lot of people have left, actually. A lot of people left.
It's, Peter, I grew up there when the sawmills were working. We had 7 sawmills in our community, man. I started working for Catamo Timber to Highland Forest Products, Southeast Yukon, Ptarmigan Timber, over to Mel Menyer's mill, and then over to Dave Hickson's sawmill. And from there I went out to harvesting logs out in the bush, running loaders, running equipment. It was busy, man. And it went from busy, working, home at night, playing hockey, playing baseball, to watching the whole community die to where there's not a rec league hockey league, there's no baseball, and the addiction rise was huge. So my legacy is to try and get that kind of industry back into our community and give our children hope and a future and education.
Like town community events were crazy. Like there's so many activities like arts and crafts and like contests and sporting events like curling and all that, big prizes and stuff, and then that all shut right down, and then it dwindled for like a decade or two, like, and it was just the community, how would you put it, like, community pride kind of dropped a lot. Like you'd notice a big difference. And then like guys that grew up in the logging mills and stuff, they had to go running equipment or mining, and that's kind of how it switched.
But over the past few years, the town has really come together. Our First Nations is growing. There's excitement. There's so much happening around town. You see people out doing more activities. You see more housing happening. The influx of jobs has gone up. It's really an exciting place to come back to now. You feel proud about what you have done, especially being my hometown. I appreciate to see the development and industry growing. I appreciate seeing families happy and supporting each other now. It's really heartwarming, and I'm proud to come back anytime when I leave.
For one, it's Halloween, we always have a big bonfire and fireworks, and then afterwards, I don't know, we spent a couple $1,000 on fireworks and went on our street. And normally, you'd see 5 or 6 people in front of the house shooting off fireworks, to where we had like 30 vehicles up and down the street, nobody partying, everybody, watching the fireworks, yahooing around. And then another big one is, I think this year we had over 35 people on the ice playing hockey. And it sounds like next year we'll start a rec league hockey again. And when you left like 3 years ago, if you could get 6 people on the ice, you were lucky. But now they got hockey leagues going on. It's huge. People in the stands watching the hockey games again. And hopefully by next year, we got a rec league going. And hopefully this summer we start with a baseball league. And that's something that hasn't been in there in 25 years. So we're gaining. And we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going until we get to see what we vision out of our community. And that's a forest industry.
Actually, the southeast Yukon is probably the only place in the Yukon that a thriving forest industry can actually develop because of the vast amounts of forest. What we could do is, if we had a sawmill here, it's going to create jobs, and we could tackle this protection issue for the community, and we probably have a few years of wood just doing that.
Yeah.
Around the community, and I really believe that the ones to manage this forest are us, because we're here and we have all the skill set here, all the knowledge and all the experience from past activities here at Forestry. We have way more forest knowledge than they do have in Whitehorse or Haines Junction or even anywhere else. So I think that government should be really supportive in helping and assisting in developing an industry here that is sustainable. We don't have such large volumes that, we remove all the forests, but we have enough that it's sustainable. I think that would not hinder anything, but actually, most of these large standing climax forests, mature forests, are going to be removed anyhow with fire. So how about we go in there and we do selective harvesting in a manner that is sustainable. And who's best to do it? We are.
Like 8 years of pushing this and going through the hoops, BC, Yukon, begging, pleading, arguing, anger, political, every aspect you could think of, I've tried to get an industry and a sawmill back in our community. It'd be nice to start harvesting our wood and bring it into our plant versus bringing wood in from BC.
I'm looking at that tree right there. It's ideal, for one of the 8x8s to go through, and and a couple of big pine over there. They're just perfect. Yeah. Well, why are we bringing wood in when we should have a sawmill here?
When I look at this, we have that simple vision of tree to home. That's really what Heartland Timber Homes is all about, right?
We harvest a specific type of timber. We harvest dead, dry, standing timber that has already been pre-burned from a former forest fire. So we will take that log, we will process it, and run it through. But the vision I have is we can take that log, process it, do a re-tree plantation, which would make the forest healthier and greener, process the log, and then take all the byproduct and put it maybe in the biomass or something green for green heating. There is a huge cycle here, and while that huge cycle is happening, it's creating more and more employment opportunities for everybody. It's getting more and more people out the door, more and more people into the workforce, more people contributing to society and growing their families, giving them the ability, especially with the increase of inflation.
On to actually like a finished product, so where we got a dry kiln, the planer mill, we got maybe a scrag mill and trim saws and a biomass system, so we can utilize all our waste and create power to run our dry kiln to where we're stamping lumber and shipping it across the territory and be known for supplying our territory with lumber that's harvested in the Yukon.
Before, no one knew about First Casca or what it's doing. Now you see, 2 dozens of yellow iron with its logo, with 2 dozen pickup trucks with its logo. And the seats are filled by its young members, building homes, fixing, new subdivisions, building that out, to, participating in mining operations, right? So that has brought a lot of pride back into LFM members and the nation, and now they're getting behind it.
I really do believe we're creating a legacy. There's been nothing like this done. I haven't seen the First Nations obtain a manufacturing plant like this that's going to put a dent in the housing crisis.
I'll tell you, man, there's been some days where you had the tears running and sadness, and then you go around and you see all these boys building their homes, and then you got tears of joy. I mean, what's better? You can sit there and you think, you know, I'm doing this for nothing, I want to give up. And then I went to work for these guys, and I go around and they're pounding nails and building their homes, and now they're taking pride in their work. So this is going to go a long ways, and we're going to have kids educated and raising their families with actual degrees, whether it's in forestry or whether it's in carpentry, or they're going to have a skill set right at the end of this, and that's basically what counts.
For First Casca Construction, I see us shipping houses all over Canada to every Indigenous community that badly needed housing. And also, if there's one thing I can pass on that I know to these fellas working for us, then I feel as though I've done my job.
I believe that if we just go out there and you know, we listen to each other and we sit at a negotiation table within reason, and we go to work, we can open up many possibilities within the Yukon, and we have the ability to grow our territory within. I love my territory. I love my town. I want to see people happy, healthy, and working. So let's not put a stop to it.